Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Before I begin this video, I just wanted to remind you all that I recently wrote a novel and it's been published. It's called Daughter of the Night and it's the story of Leila, who's a young journalist who travels from Lahore in Pakistan to Udaipur in India when she lands a journalistic sort of international reporting project. And over there she meets certain people and has certain, incidents that tells her something about her past, a past that she never knew she had. This book is available on Amazon and some other online sites, so it would mean the world to me if you would order it, read it, and leave some kind of feedback or review on Amazon, or even reach out to me on Instagram regarding the book. Thank you so much for putting in the time to read the book and for being here. It means the world. Now let's get into it. You want to be a better writer, and I'm here to tell you that it's totally, definitely possible, but to also remind you that there is no hard and fast rule as to how one becomes a better writer or improves their writing in different ways, because there are just so many different kinds of writings and everybody eventually develops their own kind of tone, their own style of writing. For instance, journalistic writing is so different from writing novels. Similarly, playwriting is vastly different from academic writing. I practice all those four kinds of writings right now, and I can tell you that even though they're so different from each other, there are certain techniques that I always follow to get results that I'm proud of. So let's get into it. I can't emphasize this more. I really cannot. A lot of the times I see when students get a writing prompt for a paper from their professor, the first thing they do, instead of spending solid days on research, they pull out their laptop and start typing away on MS Word or Google Doc or whatever. Now, unless you're writing a fully fictional piece that is just being born out of your memory and imagination, you need to do research. Depending on the length, the style and the scope of your paper, research can take various forms. It can be done through reading books, reading online journals, reading magazine articles, looking through databases, and just so many more different things. Please spend quality time looking through those notes, taking notes, highlighting stuff, saving website links, etc. Whatever fits you, please spend time getting to know your topic in and out, because it'll actually fasten the writing process and make it easier on you. So once you're done with the research process, the next step is to make sure that you actually understood and absorbed whatever you just read. Now, research is never chronological. You are never given a step-by-step rundown of how your paper is going to look like. Every book that you read, every website or database or whatever you look at is going to give you different topics, different details, and multiple different perspectives. And it's your job to get rid of the unnecessary information and make a step-by-step rundown of how your paper is going to look like. And the way I like to do that is through mind maps. Okay, so I get it. A lot of people might think that, making mind maps is a very messy process, and it might be in the beginning, but it's going to get better in the future. Trust me. When you're writing a paper, mind maps and just some sort of organization system helps you understand which information you're actually going to use and which you're going to discard, and which information goes in which paragraph of your essay. For instance, if you're writing a paper with a thesis and you need to defend your thesis, how are you going to make sure that every sentence and every paragraph that you write in your paper actually justifies your thesis and it's just not just some extra thing that's just in there? The way you do that, the way you make sure that your paper is actually justifying your thesis, is by solidifying your arguments and organizing them. Okay, so a lot of times you'll hear that writing is a very messy process, especially a first draft. And that is true for almost all cases. But here's what I also like to do sometimes. I write extremely slowly, like 1 page a day. Seriously, I'm not kidding. I write very slowly, and the reason I do that is because I want to minimize the number of errors and corrections I want to make during my proofreading process. I don't want my proofreading process to span over 4 days, especially if I just spend so much time writing. And the way I do that is just by following my mind map and writing exactly what I want to write down. In writing, I want to make sure I say this. My mentor once told me in reference to my writing, KIFF, and I think I've mentioned this in a very old video of mine. Keep it simple, stupid. There is no need to use heavy, big adjectives. Instead, use strong nouns and strong verbs. You do not need to use big, fancy words because your writing is not judged by that. Your writing is judged by the words that you do use and if they fit the context of your paper and advance your point. Some of the best writing you will ever see is very easy to read and uses very simple, basic words. For someone to be actually able to appreciate your writing, you need to give them writing that they're actually able to understand. Please, just please don't ever submit your paper without going through it at least once. And I say at least once because you're gonna find a lot of grammatical errors or structural errors or any kind of error when you go through your paper after you've written it at least once. I would highly suggest you to go through your paper at least a couple of more times because you never know what you might want to change later. Maybe the words, maybe the structure, you never know. So the best thing to do is to revisit it again and again so that you clear out the clutter and present your readers with the good stuff. So proofread, proofread, proofread. That's all I have for this video, guys, but I want to make sure you understand that this is not all there is to writing. There's so much more. These are just some of the basics that student writers, and people in general should try and follow. If you want any help with your writing, please feel free to reach out to me because I've lately been helping a couple of students with their essays and I would love to help you too. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!